Hey everyone, my name's Alexis and welcome to my channel. This is my very first YouTube video and I wanted to bring you all the perfect blonde wig, quote unquote, but it has this great blend of icy blonde highlights and honey blonde lowlights, which you can see here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to follow me on Instagram as well. So let's get right into it. I got this hair from Amazon from a seller called UCute hair. I got a 13 by 6 16-inch 613 blonde wig, as well as one single 613 bundle as well. I'll have both of those links in the description box below. Again, this is a 13 by 6 613 lace frontal wig, and then I also just added a single 16-inch bundle that I'm going to sew into the wig later on to create more fullness. Overall, the quality of the wig seems great. It's shiny, it feels soft. I run my fingers through it and I don't get any type of shedding. The same thing goes for that single bundle as well. Again, I'm going to link both links in the description box below. And one thing about me is that I always get my hair from Amazon just because it gets here typically the fastest and it's cheaper. But I'll try to keep you all posted on any good sellers that I see moving forward, and I think this seller might have to be at the top of my list so far, but I will keep you all updated. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on me sewing in this bundle because this is not the best quality of work for sewing that in. But there are many great videos out there that will really break down how to sew the bundles onto a wig cap. But here, as you can see, I am just parting the wig and looking for open areas between tracks on the wig cap to sew in a bit of that 613 bundle. And also, just as a tip, I apply these bundles towards the back and the bottom of the wig to help create a fuller look towards the bottom of the hair as well. If you start to apply the bundle towards the top or crown area of the wig, it will still help it to create a more fuller look, but just keep in mind that you won't get as much as that length. It's already 16 inches, which is pretty long on me, but if you're the type of person that really wants length, think about applying that bundle towards the bottom to really help get that length, and then work your way up towards the top as far as building that fullness. Here's the wig after sewing in that bundle. I used about half of the bundle, and as you can see, it's full. And keep in mind, as a tip, I did sew that bundle towards the bottom and back of the wig to continue that fullness and length. Alright, now out of all steps for preparation of the wig, this has to be the most important. Today we're using permanent color, and we want to be sure that we're protecting the lace from being stained from that permanent hair color. So what I'm going to do is take some Got2b glue and just a hair color applicator brush, and I'm going to paint that Got2b glue all over the lace to protect it. And be sure that when you're applying that Got2b glue gel to the lace, that you are getting the baby hair area as well. That area is going to be the area that's seen the most by you and by other people. So you want to make sure that that part of the lace is also not stained. So just take your time and be sure that you cover all areas of the lace. The hair color that I'll be using is the Clairol Professional Soy 4 Plex Permanent Hair Color, and I'm going to be using a total of 4 colors. So to start off, I'm going to use the 6NN hair color for the root, which is a kind of medium dark brown. And then I'm going to use that 8NN color, which is a light brown, kind of grayish light brown color. I'm going to use that as a transition from the root as I'm moving into those more highlighted colors, which is that 7G, which is a medium blonde, and the 10N, which is the lightest blonde, for those parts of the hair that we want to highlight the most. I also got the Clairol Pure White 10 Volume Developer that I'm going to mix in with that permanent hair color. And I'm also going to be adding in some cheap conditioner into that mixture as well, just to help bring down the volume of that developer. I don't want to damage the hair any further since it's already 613 blonde. So what you'll see next is me mixing up that color with the 10 volume developer and a little bit of that conditioner to kind of soften the harshness of that 10 volume developer. So here I am mixing up all of the colors, and I'm going to fast forward through that because it's kind of boring. But one thing I did want to say is be sure to label your colors. At least that helped me, because I did not want to mix up these colors. We're going from a medium deep brown to a 10NN lightest blonde, so it would suck to really mix up those colors. So that's just kind of a tip that I have. I don't know if professionals label their hair colors if they're using more than one color, but I am not a professional. This is just what works for me. So yeah, anything that kind of helped me through this process, I definitely wanted to share with you all. So now the fun part, I went ahead and separated my wig into 4 sections, and I'm going to start at the back. The first thing that I'm doing is just applying that 6N root color to the roots of the wig, just to get that out of the way. And then I'm going to start parting the wig, and I'm just going to kind of have fun with applying these colors. The good thing about this, since we're doing a mix of highlights and lowlights, is that it really, honestly, it really doesn't matter how you apply the color, as long as you're hitting that root with the 6NN all over first, and then transitioning or creating a smooth transition into the highlighted color of your choice or low light color of your choice. It will all turn out fine. This is one hair color that you can kind of freestyle with. At least it kind of worked out for me, but this is something you can freestyle with and kind of just have fun with as well, since you're using a lot of different colors here, and it will still give you a nice blended result. So here is the wig with all of the color added to it. As you can see, it looks pretty dark on camera, but it did not turn out to be that dark once I washed it out. So yeah, I have that root color in there. You can see those highlights as well and some of those lowlights. I'm going to take this off of my wig head and rinse this out on cool water. I'm going to shampoo that out and use some of that cheap conditioner I got from Target. And then you can see the final look. Here's the wig after shampooing and conditioning, and you can see there's a nice blend of highlights and lowlights, and some AC pieces are in there, which is bomb. But one thing that I did not anticipate was that the knots on the lace ended up getting dyed with that deep brown color. The lace wasn't stained, which was great, but the knots ended up getting dyed again. So what I'm going to do is take some Kaleido Colors Clairol bleach, and also some 30 volume developer, and I'm just going to mix that up until I get a toothpaste like consistency. Nothing too runny. We want it to be thick so it doesn't seep into the lace. But once I get that mixture, I'm going to take a plastic knife and just spread that all over the lace and bleach those knots. The reason that I'm doing this is because when I part the lace, I don't want to see any of those brown knots, so bleaching them to a blonde color will help to hide them a lot better and give you a more natural look overall. Alright, so it's the next day, and here's the wig blow dried and brushed out. You can see that mix of highs and lows, and you can see a bit of that brown root as well as I part the hair. The hair is still very soft, it's shiny, it's not damaged at all, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on and start the prep work for laying down this wig. Alright, so I'm going to take some 91% rubbing alcohol and put that onto a cotton swab to clean off my forehead before I apply the glue. The reason that I'm doing this is to remove any oils or any makeup that transferred from my lace onto my skin before I add on that glue. You want to make sure that that surface is clean and free of oil so that that glue can stick to your skin effectively and so that it lasts longer. I'm going to be applying 2 thin layers of glue. After I apply that first layer, I'm going to blow dry that on cool and on low, and I'm going to wait for that first layer to become clear, and then I'll come back and apply that second layer and repeat that same process. Just blow dry on cool, and that once I finish that second layer, I'm going to take my finger, press that up against the glue, and make sure that the substance is tacky, and that when I lift my finger from the glue that there's no glue residue on my finger. That's when you'll know that you're ready to lay down that lace. So now I'm just taking the back of my rat tail comb and I'm smoothing out that glue onto my skin. You want to make sure that that layer of glue is thin and even. And you also want to make sure that you are not pressing or pushing that glue back into your edge line. I'm trying to protect my edges as much as possible, so hopefully that helps. And you will also see that I'm not hitting or getting my sideburn area just yet. That's where the ear tabs of the frontal will lay. I'm gonna come back and hit that later, just because I have a lot of hair there, and I just want to make sure that that glue is not getting pushed into my hair. Alright, so I'm back from blow drying that second layer, and as you can see, it is clear. So now I'm just going to take that lace and fold it down, and then I'm going to use that same blue rat tail comb from earlier and press that lace into the glue using the back of the comb. Once I get that lace pressed in, I'm going to take that elastic band, tie it down, and blow dry on firm setting for about 10 to 15 minutes to let that lace sink into the glue. So we're back from blow drying that lace into the glue, and now I'm going to take an eyebrow razor and separate my lace into 3 equal sections to prepare that for cutting. Starting out with that first section of lace, I'm going to take that eyebrow razor and start cutting. So you want to make sure that you are cutting as close to the hairline on that lace as possible, and you also want to make sure that you don't cut yourself. The reason that I'm using an eyebrow razor rather than a pair of scissors is because an eyebrow razor, you don't really have that much control, which is good in this instance because you want to have a jagged cut on the lace. If you were to cut the lace straight across, it does look a bit more noticeable versus a jagged or ragged edge on the lace. It is a lot easier to lay and a lot less detectable in some cases. Yeah, about those ear tabs. No, I'm kidding. But like I said earlier, I was going to save those for last. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that glue and put that right onto the skin in front of my natural hairline. Smooth that out with the end of the rat tail comb, and then lay the lace right on top of that. So now that the lace has been laid into the glue, what I like to do is take some scissors and just cut the very edge of the lace, so that way the transition between the lace and my skin is less noticeable, if that makes sense. And cutting the edge of that lace makes it a little less detectable to myself, but I don't know, that's just a little trick that I picked up on my own. Again, I'm not a professional. Just be sure, if you do decide to try that out, just be sure not to cut yourself. So now I'm going to take another rat tail comb and separate out my baby hairs. Oh, and I have a dog. She chewed up my comb, so y'all don't get on me about my comb, okay? But I am going to separate those hairs out and just braid those out of the way. And then you'll also see me do a little bit more plucking. The frontal on this wig was very full. It was a lot for me to work with, so it's going to look a little crazy moving forward, but I promise you it'll all come together at the end. Now that the baby hairs are out of the way, I'm going to take my Fantasia Liquid Mousse Mega Hold Spritz hairspray and spray that around the perimeter of the lace. I'm also going to make sure I spray that on the ear tap section, since I only put one layer of glue there. This is going to help the lace to melt into your skin. Then I'm going to take that elastic band again and tie that down and blow dry for another 10-15 minutes. Alright, so I am back from blow drying my hair, and I actually went ahead and straightened out my hair as well. So like I said earlier, it's about to look a little crazy, but you know what? You can't see the lace. Like, that lace is melted, so I will give myself that. So now what I'm going to do is just take that comb and start combing out that hard layer of spritz on the edges. Then I'm going to cut those edges with that eyebrow razor from earlier, and then I'll take my Nairobi mousse and start laying down those baby hairs. So I'm just going to speed this part up. Y'all have heard me talk this whole time. I'm sure you don't want to hear me anymore. So I'm just going to speed this part up and let you all watch me work through it. All right, so as you all could see from earlier, I tied that scarf over the edges, and I went back and blow dried that for another 10 to 15 minutes. As you can see, the mousse is now set in, but now it's time to put the finishing touches on the look and fix any of those problem areas or those areas that you can kind of see a little bit of my mistakes there. So I'll go ahead and get into that now. All right, so I don't know what this area is. I don't know if I just completely missed it with that root color or if I just put too much bleach in that area when I went back to bleach the knots on the lace, but it's all good. This is something that we'll easily be able to fix, and I'll go ahead and get into that now. So I am going to take my Kiss Root Touch-Up quick cover that I got from my local beauty supply store. This is the color medium brown, and I'm just going to go over those like blonde, super blonde areas that I either missed or I just bleached too much, who knows. But look at that, easy and quick fix, and it didn't take much effort. Now I'm just taking an angled brush and I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in the medium brown color. I'm taking the lightest shade in that kit and just applying that into the part to give it a more natural look. Alright, so that's pretty much it. This is the final look. Well, I did decide to throw some curls into the hair and I threw some lashes on, but that's about it. Seriously, if you made it to the end of this video, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't understand how much that means to me. This is my first YouTube video. It took a lot for me to put myself out there and get the strength to do this. So any support, any like, any comment, any view, I don't care. Just know that I genuinely appreciate it and it means the world to me. So for now, I really hope to have more content for you all soon. But for now, I guess this is see you later. Thank you.